All right, welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we were able to set up quite a few of the last kind of pieces to the puzzle that we were waiting on. We've got our stator factory going right here, making about 15 stators a minute, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. We have another one making encased industrial beams, also at about 15 a minute, I think. No. That one's at 18 a minute. And we added some power to the factory, so we are now sitting at about 2,000 megawatts, I believe. Yep, 1980. And we have some room to grow here. In today's episode, speaking of growing, since we have kind of everything being built that we can currently sort of access, I think now is a good time to go ahead and get the rest of our project assembly parts going. So we're not going to have enough stators just yet to do what we're going to try to do, but we can get it started. I will meet you back over at the space elevator in just a second. Stopping by the rotor factory for just a second. Looks like everything is working as intended. This is the one I'm a little bit worried about, but as long as everything keeps pumping at the pace that it's supposed to, it shouldn't have any issues. I guess the tell-all will be if the assemblers are backed up at all. It doesn't look like they are, although this one is running a bit low on screws. I wonder if that's the same all around. That just kind of worries me, because if it's behind 100 screws, that means that it is slowly running out of screws. Means these may not be operating correctly. It looks like they are, so nothing to worry about. Let's head back over here now. All right, back over here at the base elevator. We're about a third of the way, a little bit less, probably closer to a fourth of the way done with our smart plating. But now we are going to add on either the versatile framework or the automated wiring. I think the versatile framework's probably a little easier to get going. So we're going to make 5 of these a minute, which means it's going to take about 2 hours for this to finish if I make one. We'll probably just make 2, I think. I think these being done in about an hour is plenty fast enough. So let's toss this guy on. We should probably set it up in line with these ones just so there's no issues with getting everything in correctly. Our splitter, excuse me. We'll set up like so. Make another one. Right after I said we'll set these up the same so there's no issues, I went and didn't set them up the same. What are the odds of that? Alright, so in here we'll go modular frames and steel beams. We have a little bit of those at the moment, not a ton, none with us, of course. So we're going to need to make 1,000. We're going to need 500 modular frames, that is 10 stacks, and 600 steel beams. That doesn't seem right. 6,000 steel beams, right? which would be a lot of stacks. So let me hook these up to the power. And I will grab modular frames out of my inventory. And the steel beams, I don't know if I have them in here. I do. I'm not uploading more. I'm gonna have to go grab more anyway, so I'm just gonna go and grab them rather than pull them out of my depot. Modular frames will get uploaded either way, but these won't. So I will be back just a second. Okay, I didn't have enough space to bring as many steel beams as I think I need. And I also just don't have that many steel beams. So I was able to bring 15 stacks. That should be half of what we need, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm doing my math correctly, it's going through 30 per minute and making 5 per minute. And that means to make 100, it would need... Does it need 300? Right? No. Yeah, it would need 3,000. And I'll need it to make 1,000, so it needs 6,000. I brought 15 stacks, which is 3,000, so I have half as many as I need currently going in. So that will have to do for now. I'm going to put a merger down. I will put it right about here, I think. That and that. And we'll put another merger on this belt for simplicity's sake. If you think this is simple, I don't know why you would think that. Okay, that's 500 of our 1,000 taken care of, at least. Finally, we have the automated wiring, which we'll need the stators and the cables for. Obviously, we do not have all of the stators that we need. We do have the cables, most likely. I don't think we're going to need too many, since this is going to make... It'll need 50 per minute to make 2.5. Boy, the math is really slipping away from me today. 50 per minute, 100 per 2 minutes, times 20. We'll need 2,000 cables, which is very reasonable and easy to do, I think. But we do not have the stators to make that happen just yet, so I'm going to leave it. They don't take that long to make anyway, and you only need 100 of them, so not a huge deal. And in the meantime, while we let those go, let's get our hyper tubes unlocked. I'm gonna go grab some copper sheets really quick. All right, and we'll toss all of these in. That will allow us to make hyper tubes.
Milestone reached. By adding hypertube entrances at both ends of hypertubes, pioneers can achieve two-way travel between locations. They are also error% safer than jump pads. You dreamed of moving across factories like valued resources, such as rocks and water, and Fix-It listened to your dreams. We watched them. We took extensive notes. Hypertubes. Because Fix-It makes pioneers' closely monitored dreams come true.
Right. And so, the reason I wanted to unlock hypertubes is because it has been truly a pain to run around the map so much. This area is super, like, not walk-friendly. So, I'd like to connect everything via hypertube if I can. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing that. And once I'm done, I'll show that off to you. All right, about a half an hour later, and I've got all the hypertubes set up. The only thing I did not connect the hypertube to is the Caterium stuff up there, but that's mostly just because if I need it, I can run up there really quick. It does not take that long. Maybe I'll add one to that in the future. So we have two separate hypertubes. You can kind of tell where that one's going, you can kind of tell where that one's going. Pick a direction and we'll go that way. I'm just kidding, I can't hear you. Let's go this way. So this one will drop us off here. That is the first time it has thrown me off the edge like that. I've tested it 4 times already, but not a problem. So that'll bring us here to the space elevator parts. This one will take us over to where we were making modular frames and the reinforced iron plates, and drops us off right here. This guy right here will take us over to the rotor factory. And this was meant to be a sort of central hub, but, you know, it's just 3 tubes now. So I'll show you this one really quick. This one's going to take us over to the copper sheet farm, which I am glad that I built pretty early on because these things take up a lot of copper sheets. What you would normally spend on like a belt, you can imagine that it's going to cost you the same in sheets and pipes, steel pipes. So these things are expensive, man, and these are not short pipes or short hyper tubes that I made. So this one will take us over to the steel foundry. No, this one's going to take us over to the concrete factory. This is probably the 3rd longest hypertube, I think, of them. So that'll drop us off here at the concrete factory in case we need any concrete. Sort of a pit stop to get over to the steel foundry. Then this one also has a couple of directions it can go in. We'll go this way first. So this one, you look up at the top, will take us over to the coal power plant. I think this is the 2nd longest one of all of them. This one definitely is going to be a pretty big time saver, but not as big of a time saver as the next one we'll go to. So here we are at the coal power plant now, in case we need to add any more power, which we will most likely have to do in the near future. Each one of these hypertubes is 10 megawatts of power, and I think out of all of them, I think we built 15 maybe, because it's one on each side, and I built like 7 tubes, so like 14 to 16, which is essentially, you can just say 150 megawatts of power that's getting used up to be able to use these. But I am okay with that because these are going to be a huge time saver for me. It's not going to change anything for you because I'll still be cutting out in between hypertubes, but, you know, not a big deal. And here is the longest hypertube out of all of them. This will be probably one of the biggest time savers for me. Not that I run too much in between the encased industrial beams and the steel beams and steel pipes. But if I do need to get to this side of the factory, this hypertube will save me a lot of time. I did try to avoid going through the floor when I first started building these, but if you worked with these hypertubes before, you know how much of a pain it is to try to like set them up so they don't go through the floor, especially in this like really hilly area. So I just gave up like halfway through and I said, well, you know what, if it goes through the floor, it goes through the floor. I did build this little part on some foundation just to make sure that the trucks didn't get stuck on it. But this will drop you off at the other hypertube, apparently. Let me fix that. Pretty simple fix, just turn the hypertube to the side a little bit and it will not do that again, hopefully. Alright, and then this guy right here will take us back over to the copper factory, the wire and cable factory, I believe, is where it's set up to go. But this is essentially just where it starts looping into itself. So once we get to the copper factory, we'll be able to get back to the hub. While I'm here really quick, I'm just going to grab some cables. I'm going to need them. And yeah, this is the last one that we built. So in total, I think to go all the way around, you know, about 5 minutes maybe, but this isn't really meant to be going all the way around. It's meant to help me get from factory to factory. a little bit quicker, especially when I need parts to be able to build. So now that that is set up, we've given everything a little bit of time to start filling up. We're almost halfway there on our versatile framework. We're a little past halfway there on our smart plating. And now I'm going to set up the automated wiring. Again, I don't think I have quite enough material to make everything that I need, but we can get it started at the very least. And because I built the hyper tubes the way that I did, I'm going to have to build out this way, which is probably better, all things considered. So at 2.5 a minute, if I were to just run one, it would take... it would take 40 minutes. Yes, maybe. I'm just gonna make 2, even though I don't know how many, how long it's gonna take off the top of my head, because math is not mathing today. So we'll need the stators and the cable. I'm gonna have to run and grab more cable, most likely. I have a little bit on me, not enough. And the stators are over here in this guy. I thought I was gonna build them on this side. And honestly, like, if these things start making more than I need, that's probably actually a good thing, all things considered. So I'm not really keeping track of how much is going in or out at the moment. Set up our lifts. Go. Everything should be going in now. I've only got 2 on hold. All right, I don't know what I'm trying to say. There we go. And now these should start getting made. And same as with the top framework, we'll just connect the belt here. And the merger can go into this side. It's gonna go through the floor. That is what it is. Not that worried about it. And there we go. So I'm gonna go grab some more cables really quick and dump those into the box so that I don't run out. Again, I don't remember how many I need, but I figure if I do one more run, I should have enough. All right, hopefully that is enough. That's 8, 12, 14 stacks. I think I said I needed 2,000. 10 stacks should have been enough. I don't think I have enough stators in just yet. That I know I need. Well, I only need 100, right? It's 2.5, 2.5. So 1 to 1, and I only need 100. So we'll just let that run. If I make extra, that's actually good for me. I know the smart plating, I definitely put exactly as much as I need in, maybe a little bit more. And then these guys, I think I need to put more steel beams in, and then modular frames, I think I put the correct amount in. Sadly, I just don't have that many steel beams lying around. So this will probably, be what holds up the production the most. And it's not really much I can do about it. I can go make some steel beams by hand, but I'm not going to sit here and do that because the trade-off for them is not that great. In the meantime, let's research the jump pads. Why not? I'm not going to use them. I'm sitting here running to my factory instead of using the hyper tubes that I just spent half an hour building for some reason. Okay, we'll toss all of these in. I'll need to go into my depot and grab some more rotors. I probably said this already, but I wish that they made it so that you could organize your depot.
Milestone reached. The Fix-It jump pad combines high technology and innovation for optimized factory traversal and an ideal travel experience. Clarification. Ideal travel experience not guaranteed, individual results may vary. Pioneers are responsible for all workplace accidents resulting from jump pad usage.
So I probably won't be using the jump pads anytime soon. If I do use them, I don't know what it would be for, to be honest with you. Yeah, I wish they would make it so you could organize this the way you kind of want to. So like, if I want my cables to be up at the top, I could just, move them up like that, or like, there'd be a nice sort button. Would definitely not be in vain, I think. Yeah, so we're kind of just at a point where it's time to like hurry up and wait. Once everything is completed for phase 2, I can start working on more stuff. We have all of our milestones completed. Every factory is in use in some way. We're making everything that we need to make. I think the only thing I really could be doing is extending our steel foundry factories. Maybe making some more of them, or potentially just upgrading the ones that we have. So that's probably what I'm going to do next. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that's kind of on my list other than just adding more power. But we will be getting the oil power, I think, in the next phase. So I don't want to go too heavy on more power. But I definitely would not mind adding more to this guy. Give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna think about what I want to do next, and I also know that the episode's gonna end in about 15 minutes or so, so whatever I do needs to be pretty quick. Alright, while I was thinking, I decided it would be good to go a little overboard on our battery storage. So now we have 18 batteries, all ready to charge. They'll be done in about 3 hours, just because there is so much of them to charge. Yeah, it's a little overboard, but this will probably be like a final product for these guys, which is probably pretty good. Yeah, 1800 total charge now. And I decided I'm going to add on to the coal power, and I think I'm just going to max out the 2 nodes that I have. And then that'll be the last bit of power that I add until we get the oil power. So I'll meet you over there in just a second. Okay, so 2 schools of thought here. I think I can make 6 more with just this miner here. Let me double check that number really quick. So this is cutting 240 per minute. Each factory uses 15 a minute. So I can have 16 in total. I currently have 12, so I can add 4 more to this one. Which is pretty reasonable. I think I can just slap those on the end here. We'll go ahead and put the lifts in. The splitters on. And connect the belts. That way these can start getting filled up. I don't have to take the smart splitter off necessarily, but I might end up doing it just to get the AI limiter back. We'll put a couple of junctions down prematurely, in a sense, since I'll need to make a couple more water extractors. Build these ones right here. And I would just extend these foundations out, but it's a little awkward, unfortunately. Do it like this, I think. I don't want to go down there. I don't have to. Just because I don't know why I think I'll get stuck for some reason, but I feel like I'll get stuck for some reason. Grab a pipeline. there. And here. This one can come up. And into this junction. I will... How much do I have on this? Only 2. No worries. Like that. Turn these guys on so the pipes can start filling up. Of course, we're going to need a pump. Oops. Do it this way this time. Or will I? Where's the pump at? House. There it is. There we go. Look that up. Water should be coming up now. Yes, sir, indeedy. These guys up. There should already be coal in these. Yep. So we'll let those continue to fill up before I change anything. And this will be another 300 megawatts, which is plenty for right now. And these should be pumping to 40. I did not mean to go down here, but at least I can check. The 240 a minute for each of them. Almost threw myself off the edge there. Alright, we'll go ahead and connect these now. The pipe should be full. Go. And with 240 a minute, we should have plenty of water. Yeah, 180. So I can actually turn one of these down. Too bad I just broke that pipe I just used to get up here. Or the ramps, I mean. So I only need 180. I can turn both of these down to 80 apiece. No, sorry, 90 apiece. There we go. I will set this one to 95, just so my anxiety doesn't go off thinking that I'm going to run out of water for some reason. And there we go. That should be another 300 megawatts of power added on. And why not? Let's color the pipes in, right? Even though I know that they're using water. Now everybody does. I'm not much of one to color everything. I don't really care what color things are. But I know for some people, it makes the game more fun. More power to you. Alright, there you go. Now we know that these have water in them. In case that wasn't clear to you. I have once again fallen and cannot get back up. Shout out if you know what that's from. Cool. Let me go check on the other one quickly. I think I have this overclocked to meet what it needs, so it shouldn't need any more. First, I'm going to get rid of these. This shouldn't be overproducing. You see this getting backed up, however. So I'm wondering if maybe my math was incorrect, or it's just because they were already backed up before. So 15 times 12 would be 100. Is it 175? No. 15, 12. No, it's 180. Yeah, this should be operating correctly. Yeah, I mean, I think the last time I checked it, it was like bouncing between 15 and 17, so it must be correct. I'm gonna go check on the versatile framework and see if it is still working. I'll meet you over there in just a second. And I realized that the reason these are not filling up anymore is because there is automated wire in the way. So let's take that off, take these off, reconnect it. That is something I did not consider when I built this. Sure, why not? Now all of those can go in. We'll toss these in like that, and these in like that. Yeah, we are out of steel beams. That was what I was more worried about. And grabbed what I currently had. I don't think that'll be enough to finish still. But we'll put the automated wiring into a crate now. I'm going to let it keep running because obviously I will still need it for the next phase. And let's disconnect these. And we'll have them go to their own inputs so that they don't get backed up again if one finishes before the other. Right. So I'm going to end the episode here. In between episodes, I'm just going to go make steel beams by hand. The reason I didn't want to do that before is because I was hoping that I would have enough to finish phase 2 before I needed more, but that is clear to me that that is not going to happen, and I'm not going to spend a bunch of time recording while I try to make more. Like, I don't want to do another episode and then just say, okay, I'm just going to go make steel beams, and then the actual start of the episode is me sending this off. So I'm going to do it in between episodes. And when I come back, we will, or when we come to the next episode, I guess, we will have phase 2 completed, and we'll move on to phase 3. So thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciated. And I'll catch you in the next one.